You must explore the universe. And that's the motivation to accelerate humanity's future in understanding the universe and extending the light of consciousness to the stars.
Announcement to make, which is the most epic chip building exercise in history by far. This is really going to take things to the next level. So, yeah, a level probably people aren't even contemplating right now. This is not in the, I would call this sort of an out of context problem. It's not in their context. So we're going to adjust the context by a few orders of magnitude here. Let's see. It's a joint effort. I'm pressing the button. But the button's not working. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, yeah. We aspire to be a galactic civilization. So I think the future that everyone, well, most people I think would agree is the most exciting is one where we're out there among the stars, where we are not forever confined to one planet, that we become a multi-planet species, like the best science fiction that you've ever read. You know, Star Trek, or Ian Banks, or Asimov, or Heinlein. And we want to make that real. Yeah, not just fiction. Turn science fiction to science fact. That's the glorious, exciting future that I certainly look forward to. It's worth considering sort of like, how would you rate civilizations? You know, there was a physicist, I think it was Russian, in the 60s, Kotter. He thought about, at a high level, how would you consider any given civilization? And he said, well, if you're type 1, you're using most of the energy of your planet. And we actually still have quite a ways to go to be properly a type 1. We're still using a tiny fraction of the sun's energy that reaches our planet. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. But the Earth only receives about 0.5 billionth of the sun's energy. So the sun is truly enormous. The sun is 99.8% of all mass in the solar system. So sometimes people will ask me, like, what about, you know, other power sources of power on Earth? Like, what about fusion on Earth? Well, that is unfortunately very small because the sun is 99.8% of mass in the solar system. And Jupiter is about 0.1%, and Earth is in the miscellaneous category. We are, I think it's Carl Sagan, I think might have said, Earth is like a tiny dust mote in a vast darkness. Very, very small. The sun is enormous. So the way to actually scale civilization is to scale power in space. This is necessarily true because we actually capture such a tiny amount of the sun's energy on Earth because we're just this tiny dust mote. Another way to think of it is roughly like electricity production on Earth of all of civilization is only about 1/trillionth of the sun's energy, which means if you increase civilizational power output by 1,000,000, it would still only be 1,000,000th of the sun's energy. I mean, it's awe-inspiring to consider that, just how tiny we are.